My late father, Bill Bicknell, and I developed the system 18 years ago on a little shop that he had, a little retail shop that he had in Mangere. Basically, we were coming in every Monday morning, and Mangere was sort of one of the areas in New Zealand where graffiti started. And we went from having sort of one tag a week to coming in on Monday morning, and the whole front of the shop had been done on a few occasions. We went through the yellow pages to find out if there were companies that could help us with the problem. And what we found was there were companies that could help us, but it was just an ongoing cost. I mean, it was we had to put a coating on, and then we had to buy a chemical from them and clean it off every time it happened, and it was just going to be an ongoing, basically throwing money against the wall, really. The very first system we built was very antiquated, was very basic. Used a garden hose and a few other bits and pieces, but it stopped immediately. So we remained at that shop for another 4 years, and we never got tagged. My father fell quite ill about 6 years ago, so I moved to the Hawke's Bay to look after my dad. And we were sitting around the table one night, and there was a big article in the local newspaper about a local business that was being hounded by taggers. So we approached him and told him that we had this concept, and I engineered it in the workshop I was working in at the time. We put the system in, and that was 6 years ago now, and Neville Rapley still hasn't been touched by graffiti since. The thing with our systems is once they're installed on the building or next to the train or wherever we install them, they're maintainable for the life of the structure. So it's not sort of an overnight fix. This is a system that goes on the building and stays on the building for the life of the building. It's based on the principle of not allowing the taggers to have access to the side of the train or the side of the building in the first place. Everything else on the market is based around coatings and making it easy to remove the tag once it's been put on the building or the train. So the principle of our system uses pressurised atomised water. So as soon as the vandals or the graffiti artists approach the train, it senses their movement and then sprays a high-pressure sheet of running water down the side of the train so they simply can't paint it. If they step in and step away, it stops. If they stay in there, it remains going for as long as they're in there. We've got a loud siren and a camera system that feeds directly back to the head office of Keyrail, so they can basically, once the system's been triggered, they're then able to go back and get footage of the event. It's freestanding, so it mounts down, it stands on its own down both sides of the train. It's 200 metres in length, so there's 400 metres of system in total, and they simply park the train in there and push the remote control button as they walk away from the train, and then it's armed until they come back, and they disarm it with a remote control, and the train goes back into service nice and clean.